And now the epilogue for Jace Vice Principal. Behind the episode's Roomies. This will also be a review thing, so if you want to get to the review, I should have a timestamp in the description. Just skip to that part. But that's more for future notice.
Watching the head lifeguard Samir get these two entitled teenagers on their way out of the gift shop.
That's like every day for Samir.
That's awesome.
We call it Tuesday.
There to see it.
Then I look over to Jessica, and she just has this big smile on her face. She said it's always a good time when Samir is in action.
Every time. Samir best character. Even better than that James guy, much as I love him.
Especially if that's the kind of epicness I get to see while I'm making money.
Hey guys, I just put in the order for some Haran.
Never a boring day at Tyndale Tide.
Thanks for the post, Tiffany.
While we wait, you need any more help with unpacking?
I just have that picture of the three of them in the wall. That's
I'll definitely
nice.
ask for help if I need it. Now, a question for you two. Did you have to put that photo right there?
Ah, they even pointed out. Where else would we put it?
I think it looks very nice where it is.
Same.
Why am I not surprised that you both are in agreement with the other?
Because we're best friends.
Basically sisters.
And now I get to put up with it every day now that we're all living together.
Don't like it? Move out.
To be fair, Tiffany, you wouldn't be putting up with Phoebe and I if you weren't so generous in letting us rent out this really nice apartment with you.
Yeah, seriously, your character arc got turboed.
Hey, at least in the end it became a win for all of us. Say, I have an idea. Once our pizza gets here, how about we make it a pizza and movie night kind of thing?
But not Netflix and chill. That's something else entirely.
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay, perfect. So let's think of something we can all watch together.
Godzilla.
Not a romance film.
Maybe something with suspense.
An action movie. Now that's where the good stuff is.
Wait, I know. Instead of a movie, how about Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Charge?
What did you just say?
I said, how about we watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Charge? I think you both would like it.
I love this woman.
I didn't realize you were that kind of nerd type.
We can't be friends anymore.
Started watching it. The show is amazing, I tell you.
This could be like that one guy who got divorced over Yu-Gi-Oh!
Besides, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of those card games that's always confused me.
Fair enough.
Don't worry, we understand. Okay, I did not have my bingo card. This series ends with a frickin' Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. You got me, Jace. You got me. Hook, line, and sucker. I thought it was just gonna be like a random pop-up joke like, hey, what about Chaos Charge? No. Anyway, moving on. Just... that Jace, you can never really predict him. But it's a nice ending for the crew, and nice to see them all just gang along, hanging out, being friends in the day. That's all good for them. Alright, that's the end of the epilogue portion. So now let's get on to the main show itself of Jace Vice Principal. I have I don't really have like a script or anything like that. I'm just gonna go off of what I can think of off the top of the head, because I binged the series after I finished watching the reaction, because that's when you're supposed to watch the final episode, or like watch the rest of the series after you've seen the finale, as we all know. But yeah, at least I have all my context clues mixed up, gotten together. But yeah, it is an overall excellent series that I'm glad I checked out. Let's just start with the positives, of course. Not to say there's going to be zero negatives, but there is a lot more positives. So, it's the story of Phoebe coming to this academy, or coming to this school after her friend Riley committed Sudoku. And because of that, she, now has this tremendous guilt over her shoulders and just sadness. Her life was never easy, always bullied constantly. Because if there's one thing that's always true in a high school show, it's that bullies suck and the school system does nothing about them. And sadly, that's one of those things that hasn't improved over time. God forbid! Ugh. I mean, they say they're going to improve it. They never frickin' do. I know they can't be everywhere at once, but I'd like them to be somewhere at once. Anyway, what was I talking about? Sorry, I got into a bit of a side tangent. Anyway, yeah, after her best friend committed suicide, she moved over to Tyndale. Well, I was about to say Tyndale Tide. She moved over she moved to the new school. She went to a new school, started a new life, basically a chance to start fresh. And and made a new girl and we'll just call Candy or Cassandra, goes by either or, who actually has a lot of similarities to their best friend Riley, and was made good friends with the vice principal known as Jace. And they all got together and became good friends. And while Phoebe did suffer the same consequences as that she had at her own school, thanks to Candy's help and the power of prayer and a whole lot of stuff in between, she did overcome her obstacles and come out the other side looking like daffodils. And, well, yeah, it starts as a shy, timid girl who doesn't have much self-confidence to, well, a woman who can take care of herself with the power of prayer and summon an angel more than once. But that's the general thing. There is more stuff going on in the show. Stuff involving a principal, too, who we're not going to go into great detail over. We will bring her up because she is a part of the show, but we're not going to go into great detail. In fact, we might as well just rip that Band-Aid off right now. It is amazing to me what happened with Mimi, because if you actually watch the show, in Season 1, she's actually not that bad. Like, she has her bitch moments, but she's only being a bitch to people who were assholes, like people trying to, like, sneak in and commit and do, like, sexual actions in school, or, like, committed actual crimes and stuff like that. Like, Season 1 Mimi is not a bad person. She's a bit of a bitch at times, but she's fine, really. I mean, her arc in the freaking Season 1, I think, is, like, getting proposed to by her her girlfriend, where they, well, yeah, gonna get married in the future. And she has a birthday at some point. I kind of fast-forwarded that episode. But, yeah, Season 1, she's just another character on the crew. It's when we get to Season 2 where suddenly her bitchiness goes into, like, full throttle. Like, suddenly she goes from, like, she's pretty chill to, like, I am going to rule this place with an iron fist and damn anyone who gets in my way. You might have taken that wedding ring. I will send you to Davy Jones' locker. And just becomes abusive with power. I know that's because behind the scenes in Season 2, there was a lot of problems with behind the scenes, which I'm not going to go into full detail over. I'm just going to say that Jace kind of wanted to hurry up and end the series as soon as possible due to, again, problems with people behind the scenes, and we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go into any personal details, so we'll leave it at that much. But that's kind of why Season 2 feels like two parts, because Season 1 is an entire school year in itself. Season 2 is 2 school years. Episodes 11 through 15 are one term. Episode 15 to 20 are like the senior year to graduation. So season in 1 would be sophomore year, 11 to 15 is junior, 15 to 20 is senior. 11 to 15 is then 16 to 20. You know what I'm trying to say. The point is, Season 2 got really freaking turboed. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, freaking Mimi got ridiculously, just there. I mean, in terms of the character Mimi, I don't think she's... I want what's best for her at the end of the day, because regardless of how I feel about the person behind the scenes, I don't think that Mimi... I just hope that she, after this whole thing, that she gets kicked out of power because of abusive practices. She says she knows more than the superintendent, the guy in charge of the schools, and just thought she knew more than him and could boss him around. No, she got out of her post, and we don't see her again after that. I get the feeling we're not going to see her again after that. So I like to believe, in my personal headcanon, that she moved away with her girlfriend, they got married, she found a new job, cooled down, relaxed, and they all lived happily ever after. We never seen them again. Because as much as I may not be a fan of Mimi behind the scenes or like on the show, I would never wish upon them the death penalty or anything like that. At the end of the day, they're people, they deserve a happy ending. That's just how I feel. Not every character does deserve a happy ending, but this is just my personal feelings of the matter. Like, unlike the bitch who caused Riley's suicide, who, even though I disagree with her dying, I'm not exactly shedding tears over. But we're kind of jumping around, but I warned you that was going to happen. So, yeah, we got Mimi out of the way. We don't have to come back to that. Unless I come back to it randomly. I don't know. This isn't scripted again. But, yeah. I guess if we could... Let's talk about Candy for a second. We can also talk about Riley. Well, they're kind of similar. So, let's start with Riley since she came first. Riley is the best friend of Phoebe, who met her at the playground one day when they were both little kids, and they became fast friends. I did kind of mock the fact in the finale where Phoebe's character kind of became my best friend is dead, which is kind of true, but not as bad as I thought it was. I made it seem like it was every freaking episode. It's not. It's a bit at the beginning, which it's season 1, that's kind of the main development, so it's okay. And like the end of season 2 where it's all kind of wrapping around again. Because it's like the finale episode and like the dance before that, and the other 8 episodes, it's not brought up. Well, okay, maybe it's brought up in passing, but it's not really brought up in full extent or something like that. It's just kind of a thing. So I was kind of using a bit of hyperbole. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's, how would I put this? Like, you go and see a baseball game or a movie or something like that, and it's all really good, you're really enjoying it, and then the last 5 minutes happen, and it's terrible, and that just means the whole thing was shit. It's like, no, it was really good until that last part, and granted, some may see it's not the journey, it's the destination, but that doesn't change the fact that, you know, that was still kind of, I think you know what I'm trying to say here. Either way, my point, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, Phoebe did talk a lot about her friend being dead, but she also knew that woman since childhood, since they were little kids. So of course she's going to be heartbroken that her best friend committed suicide due to a bunch of cyberbullying, and due to a bitch who just thought she could be more powerful and had everyone would just fall in line behind her and just be her little snap buddies. They could all be just best friends as long as you do what I say when I say it, and all that other stuff that those with power think they need. And, well, that didn't happen because Riley stood up for her and stood up for Phoebe. And unfortunately, she didn't like that, so therefore, non-stop harassment, non-stop bullying, and thus Riley took her own life. And which left trauma with Phoebe, naturally. They moved away to the new town. And then Phoebe's lucky enough to meet Candy, who is similar to Riley, but not exactly the same. It's kind of a shame, though, that Candy never really gets her own Spotlight episode. Like, I'm not saying every character needs a Spotlight episode. That's not what I'm saying. There are characters from, like, Jace, Jessica, and Friends who don't get expanded upon, but they're from the spin-off show, so they don't really need it. Again, not every character needs their own Spotlight episode, like not every teacher does. But Candy is one that I'm just like, I kind of wish we knew one more thing about you. Like, we know again from season 1 that she's a religious woman who believes in the power of prayer and all that stuff. And that's all well and good. I don't have any problems there. There's no issue with that. It's just like, I would have liked a bit more. I don't know. What's your backstory? Where do you come from? Like, what's up with you? But we don't get that. We get more about Mimi, though. I'm not saying Mimi deserves 0 episodes. I'm just saying, like, can we cut one just to give Candy an episode? Do we need the birthday episode? I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky. It just, maybe we'll get one for Candy and Jace, Jessica, and Friends, and that going on further. But if you only watch Jace fight Principal, Candy's just kind of there. And it's not bad that she's just kind of there. It's just a shame, is what I'm saying. Anywho, okay, so we addressed those 3. We got Jace himself, who's the main character of Jace, Jessica, and Friends. He's more of the supporting role in this, though. He is a main character. I would easily classify him as. He starts more like trying to make sure that everything stays in line, everyone does their jobs. You know, there's order in the court, for lack of a better term. Everyone's taken care of and treated equally. And then by season 2, he's like, okay, I've taken care of everyone, making sure there's peace. But I'm not happy with my life. I don't feel comfortable where I am. And then gradually he stands up for himself, stands up to Mimi, and gets her out of position. And he's possibly going to be Principal himself in the future. Although that isn't wrapped up in Jace by Principal. That'll probably be wrapped up in Jace, Jessica, and Friends. But that's one of those things where just like, you can leave that one up to speculation. If you don't want to like watch Jace, Jessica, and Friends, you could just be like, and then he became Principal one day. That's not the end of the world. Some things can be left up. You don't need to answer every question. Some things can be left up to speculation. That's fine. And of course, what else we got? I'm saving the best for last. Well, best by worst, but let's say one of the most important characters for last. We've also got the bitch who caused Riley's suicide, which again, I'm not saying I fully agree with her how she got taken out of the show, but I am saying I'm not shedding any tears. It's one of those things, you know? It's like the worst person you know, excuse me, the worst person you know dies in a car accident. It's like, well, I didn't wish this upon you, but I can't say I care. I'm not going to celebrate, but I'm not going to boo either, if that makes sense. It is kind of weird how she just how she knew the actual main villain of Vice Principal suddenly, but I mean, I get all bullies gotta stick together, I guess. It's not the end of the world, just one of those where it's like, you just have each other's phone numbers? Whatever. This is the day of the internet where everyone just has each other's numbers and all that stuff and personal information. Okay, that's hyperbole, but it's not the end of the world to think they're just like, hey, they're their childhood friends too, or something like that. That doesn't matter too much. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not explaining, like, were you two friends or something? Don't worry too much about it. It's for drama at the end of the day. It is a show for, well, drama, I guess, so that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, she decides to text and drive in the rain on the highway and not see construction equipment ahead, and she dies. Again, not going to shed many tears over it. What else? What else we got? We also have the... I'm not great with names, so forgive me on some of these. There's also... Well, we might as well talk about the Season 2 first half villain who becomes the character who becomes the villain at that point. But that one's not really that important. She fakes a note from Mimi so she can get excused for being late for class. And then it turns out that Mimi wrote no such note. And, yeah, that was a forged one. And then, friggin' in their geniusness, Phoebe is the one that calls out the fact that that was a fake note. And because of that, they find out that Phoebe was the one behind it. And they decide to frame decide to frame Phoebe for stealing a wedding or engagement ring, and thus get Phoebe expelled, which Jace stands up for Phoebe for, because that's not something Phoebe would do. Come on. And she's a nice girl overall. She wouldn't do such a terrible thing. And the truth gets let out thanks to the new state-of-the-art security system members, which, I mean, where were you guys in Season 1? But that's one of those things where it's like, it's a new season, whatever. But they were there the entire time, they just weren't relevant. It's a new season, they're new additions, that stuff happens. New characters. Also, at one point, one of the security guards leaves because she thinks Mimi is a total bitch. And she gets called out for being total stuck-up. And then, like, 3 episodes later, Jace calls out Mimi for being a total bitch. It's like, so she was right then. Would that be wrongful termination? I don't think so, but it's like, it's kind of funny how these things go. Like, how dare you be so mean to Mimi? 3 episodes later, Mimi, you bitch! Yeah. Maybe she was right, but no, she doesn't get vindicated. She's just gone. The end. But yeah, anyway, after Phoebe gets, the truth gets revealed, turns out he didn't do it, the other girl did it, and she gets put in jail for that, because not only is that, because she blocked a security camera, which is not only against the school rules, it's a federal crime. So not only are you kicked out of school, your ass is going to jail. Great work, Einstein. Ugh. Idiots. Frig. Some people never learn, right? There's also, what was her name? I think it was Victoria, something like that. It was something like Vicky. It started with a V. Hoodie Girl, we'll just go with for now. Who was a member of the Three Stooges, who was who were like, well, by the name suggests, they were like 3 ruffians who made everything worse for everyone else. They were just like, they were a problem for the school. We'll just leave it at that. They were like the main 3 girl baddies who just caused problems everywhere. The Canker sisters, in a way. But she got held back, and 2 of her other friends went to prison, I think, and one of them committed suicide in prison, because suicide seems to be a bit of a trend. Let's see, there was Riley, this girl, and technically the girl who was texting while driving. I mean, that doesn't fully count, but in a way, I mean, she killed herself in that regard. It was an accident, but Anyway, yeah. She wants to turn over a new leaf because after she finds out her best friend died in prison, she wants to keep it to remember that the person she should never be again. And she wants to become a better person, and she generally does become a better person. It's kind of a shame that plot point got dropped in Season 2, because I wouldn't mind seeing more of her, because I feel like there was some interesting stuff going on there, but it just gets dropped. It's like, dang, I was kind of hoping that would continue. This is like Titanium Surge all over again in Bakugan. Oh boy, there's so many interesting ideas, interesting new characters. Where can we go from this? So anyway, soft reboot. I hate that crap. Mech Titanium Surge was Arc 5 before Arc 5. Anyway, I'm getting off topic again. Sorry, Bakugan and me. Moving on. What else was there? Oh yeah, there was Tiffany, I believe her name was. So we just talked about her like freaking less than 20 minutes ago. I'm very blinked of it. But yeah, who was kind of the villain for the second half of Season 2, but the problem, okay, so she was a bitch to her boyfriend, and because of that, her and her boyfriend broke up. And, well, look, in its extent, because the boyfriend didn't really like being called out every 5 seconds, and it turns out that she got stood up at the dance. And, yeah, because of that whole thing, she revealed that she spent so much time focusing on her boyfriend and focusing on herself and only caring about those two things, she was pushing away everyone else around her, so she had, like, no one left but her boyfriend. And when her boyfriend dumped her, that means she has no one else. Or maybe it was when she dumped him. The point is, she had nobody left. Fortunately, Pheobe is a nice girl and is willing to make friends with her. And so now, at least she has someone to lean back on. So, hey, at least one of these villains ends with a happy ending, where, you know, maybe I should be a better person. It is a bit of a trend over this series that there's a common piece of, like, don't let the past consume you, or it will consume you. Or, like, if you don't put the past behind you, you can never move forward with life. It's one of those things. Don't focus on the past. It's okay to indulge in I'm over-explaining. But yeah, Tiffany is overall a nice girl who, at the end of the day, so it's just nice to see after all these assholes, there's one that comes out the brighter side. Maybe Phoebe was a little nicer to her than she should have been, but hey, it worked out in the end, so does that part really matter? Probably not. I mean, Phoebe's a nice girl, and she was just doing the right thing of helping someone who needed help, because she knew what it was like to be left alone with no one else. And yeah, not only that, she also picked up a boyfriend after this. Lucas is a fine guy. He's a nice dude. He cares about Phoebe and just wants to be treated with respect and cared about. He's fine. Not much to him, really, but it doesn't have to be as much to him, really. He's just a nice guy, you know. That's all you want sometimes. Isn't that all you want from a partner? Just someone who's nice and treats you with respect and all that other stuff. Isn't that what a relationship is supposed to be, right? That one, it's fine. And he was introduced late in Season 2, so him being a bit more on the blander side is, I guess, fine. Which it doesn't hurt as much as Candy. Plus, he's got aspirations himself of being a musician and stuff like that. So he has goals and a bit of a past of his own, so we know a bit more about him. So, yeah. Also, well, I might as well do it while I remember. We do know that Candy is religious, and because of her religion, he gets Phoebe into Catholicism. Which, again, there's nothing wrong with being religious. I have no problem with you if you believe in God and all the extra stuff. As long as you don't shove that shit onto me, we're perfectly fine. Because I have no problem with who you are as a person, what you believe in, who you vote for, any of that crap. I do not care. But the moment you start pushing it on me and telling me how I should live my life, now we have a problem. Now I'm gonna fight back. I'll make, otherwise we got no problems here. I'll make jokes, all that other stuff, but it comes from, as long as you're not hurting anybody, no one really cares. Now, when you start hurting people, then people care, but as long as we're all chill at the end of the day. But my point is, thanks to Phoebe getting to Catholicism, she can now summon angels, and thanks to that, this means that the Christian God in the Beyond universe is the factually correct one. all other gods are bullshit. Or we're doing this the Marvel method, where every god is canon, even the ones that contradict other gods. It can only go one of two ways, Jace. I don't know if you thought about that at the time, but it just like, this means that you've actually proven that this is the canon one. It's kind of like that time moment in Final Destination 2 where in order to cheat death, a new baby has to be born. Which the baby is born after it's outside the womb, of course, and all of that other stuff happens. But that means that the movie also takes a hard stance on when life begins. Once you're out of the womb, boom, that's when life begins. No conception, no any of that other crap. That's when you're born. It's one of those things. It's just like you think a little bit about it. It's for the sake of a movie, but you think a little bit about it. It's like that's what that means. Anyway, maybe I'm getting off topic with that, but yeah, she can summon angels in that. I gotta tell you, if I was visited by a guardian angel like that, like Riley was, twice, once to block bullets and once to be able to, like, just hold out until Jace and Mimi come to the rescue to save me, and Samir, who is best character, yeah, I'd have to believe in God. They even left a freaking angel wing behind, a feather. It's like, I'm sorry, I have to go that way. And I don't. And if it's a freaking like Jewish angel, well, it's the same. But the religion is the same. Just the Jewish people don't have the New Testament, which means they also don't have hell. You know what I'm trying to say? If like freaking the Muslim God came down or any of that stuff, I'd have to turn to that, right? I feel like I'm going on to a dangerous topic. I probably should just veer from before I say something I can't take back. I will not draw the Prophet Muhammad. I want to live. Anywho, now I can't take that one back. Why don't I just move on to the next character? I think I've basically summed up everyone, so that just leaves the most important character in the show, which is Kevin. To be honest, when I was rewatching the series to get the information, I made a note of something. The first scene that we see of Kevin is him throwing paper airplanes at freaking Phoebe's head, and then the last scene we see of him is him pointing bullets at Phoebe's head. Long-term storytelling. He knew where this story was ending. Didn't know how he was gonna get there, but he knew how it was ending, damn it. It's freaking, God, that man was insane. He was never told no enough as a kid, clearly. He thought he could just waltz through life and thinking he was better, no rules applied to him. He can just waltz and do whatever he wants and be in charge. And that really is shown with how he acts and treats his friends, like that one guy in the hoodie. He just orders him around, tells him what to do, and all of that stuff. And even his brother he doesn't respect. He doesn't give anyone respect except the other bully who is responsible for taking a life, and even then we don't even know how close their friendship is. It's just they work together. I'm sorry, I heard a wind noise. I thought it was something else. It's my fan for my computer. Anywho, where was I? Yeah, he is a total piece of shit. And granted, there is kind of a scene in season 1 where he's trying to apologize for Phoebe, but he's going around entirely the wrong way. He is trying to make amends and make things better. It is probably the case where he's trying to make it better, just like, okay, get off my back already. Get off my back. Stop it. Stop it. Just do as I say. Get off my back. Leave it alone. But he is making an effort to try to get at this. But because he's constantly like spamming, getting in her face when he was told to back off, he's only making it worse for himself. If he had just backed off, none of this would have happened. Like, if he had just taken a step back and admitted, like, okay, I'll just do what I'm told, this wouldn't have happened. But God forbid that happened. He wouldn't accept that. He couldn't take being told what to do by someone else. He couldn't just listen to instructions. He thought he knew better than everyone else, that all the rules didn't apply to him, that he was just the grand greatness of greatness or something. Like, he thought he was the bee's knees, I guess. Just because of all that, he just went insane. He went utterly insane. That is a moment where it feels like, okay, maybe if we had just, like, I don't know. It felt like there was a turning around point there, or could have been one, but something didn't get said the right way, or it didn't get through his head. But either way, because he wouldn't back off, he got expelled from school, and thus had to go. Oh, and then because of the end of the season in 1 and that whole event that transpired where they were going to like beat up Riley or something like that, or just give her serious trauma from seeing her friend from the past that was, well, not friend from the past, the bully from the past that was going to do it. I don't fully remember what the plan was. I think we'd just like beat her up. We'll just go with that or something. The point is, like, after that whole event transpired and he got found out and expelled from the school, the parents, needless to say, were not very happy with their little boy. So they sent him off to military camp. No school, no Wi-Fi, no phone, no social media, no none of that stuff. You don't get anything but military camp. And during that time in military camp, he hardened down and doubled down in his life and realized that, no, this proves I'm right. This proves that if this woman had just never defied me in the first place and had just taken my bullying and just listened to what I said. Because that's even a point in proving out in like his introduction episode where just like, I didn't appreciate you calling me out like that. See, even the first line proves who he is as a person. He is allowed to bully the hell out of you and disrespect you and all of that other stuff. But the moment you say anything back, you're the problem. You're the mistake. You need to be fixed. Ugh, it's despicable people like that. Just the ones that can never admit they're the bad guys. They're always the victim. Never at fault. They never do anything wrong. Just poor pity me. Pity me. I do so good. I'm so good. As I beat the crap out of you and just disrespect you and give you no rights as a human being. I'm just so good. Why is everyone being so mean to me? And that's kind of a point in the school too, because like no one respects him. They all see through who he is as a human being, and they all see what his problem is. Everyone sees it except for him. Nobody likes him. Even his friend is more like going along with it because I think they kind of like maybe knew each other in the past, so it's just one of those things, like, I knew you in the past, we'll get to treat you with some respect and whatnot, but we don't really like each other, I guess. It's one of those, like, you work for me sort of things, but the friend doesn't even like him. He kind of just disappears, but like, I warned you, but did you listen to me? No, God forbid. It's kind of a shame. I do kind of regret not remembering his brother for the finale thing, but to be fair, we saw him like twice, and both of the times was like in his introduction episode, so can you really blame me? He was recapped well enough, at least in his finale episode. But yeah, Kevin, he got sent to military school and doubles down, as I was saying, and goes completely insane. He breaks out of military school somehow and gets a gun somehow. Those points, I guess, don't really matter at the end of the day as long as it was the story for it. They don't go into how he did this stuff. He just did this stuff. Okay. It's the old comic book, they broke out of prison. How they break out of prison. Shut up. It's one of those. But the point is, we're going into the insanity again. He breaks into his own house, kills his parents in their sleep, waits for his brother to come home, and then shoots him dead. Well, okay. Shoots him near dead, leaves him in a puddle in his own blood, then goes off to get revenge against Pheobe for what she did to him. Because again, you know, he's the victim in all this. Unfortunately for him, he should have gone for the head. Because his brother survived and is able to make a phone call to the police and is able to alert what's going to happen. And if he, again, just gone for the head, he might have been able to cover his tracks. But since he was the last one there, and I imagine he left some fingerprints behind, yeah, they were able to get it all routed back to him. Everyone in the house died except for one person, and the only one person left is currently holding a gun against another woman. I think we know who did it. I'm just gonna call it a hunch. Like, there's some cases where it's just like, this is open to speculation. No, we know who did this one. Done deal. You don't need to be Sherlock to figure this one out. We don't need to call Columbo. This is easy. But he breaks in. After that, he goes back to the school, breaks in, and just hides in some random location. I guess he just hid in a janitor's closet or something. I think that was what was literally said. He was in a janitor's closet. Waited for Pheobe to go by, grabbed her, and then like kidnapped her and took her into a special room where he held a gun at her, started monologuing because he's a villain, and all villains are consciously obligated to monologue. 99.9% of them. And then gives him the monologue of his entire backstory, and waits for Pheobe to finish her prayer before killing him because he didn't want to go Columbine. I guess he didn't want to go that far or shoot them when they're praying. At least I think that was what happened. But the point is, don't sue me. I don't want to get into a kangaroo court. Friggin', what was it? Oh yeah. Lets her finish her prayer before trying to fire the bullet, only for Riley to come back from the dead in angel form, sort of, basically. And, yeah, he can't believe what he's seeing, but how do you explain it? Now, he goes, said, okay, but this is bullshit. This isn't really happening. It's staring around the face. Although, to be fair, at least this is only happening to him, like, once or twice. So it's still kind of plausible that he could be in denial. Meanwhile, with Seto Kaiba, it happened to him, like, 62 fucking times. So it's like, hey, okay, you're just an idiot. Okay, once or twice, okay, I don't believe this stuff. I think after, the 5th or 6th, you're like, okay, maybe something's actually going on here. No! It can't be. It's probably a dub, isn't though. I'm off topic. But yeah, he goes to jail, and he's going to be rotting there for a long, long time. And, good riddance. Again, if he ends up getting the death penalty, can't say I'm going to shed many tears. But after that, Pheobe graduates, and is able to move out and be with her new friends, and start her life new with a new job, and hopefully getting a professional job as a motivational speaker to share the story of Riley and spread goodness and kindness to everyone else. And know Riley's story so that they don't have to be in the same place that she was, which is a happy ending for her at the end of the day. And it's a happy ending for the show itself, because in the end, focusing on the past, it's okay to take inspiration from the past, and it is our past that makes us who we are today. But you cannot delve and focus solely on the past. Otherwise, you'll be obsessed with it and it'll consume you. And you'll only end up, because if you only focus on your past, you're not focusing on your future. And thus, you have no future. Okay, that sounded philosophical enough. But yeah, now things are turning around for her, and things will get into a brighter tomorrow, we can only hope. She's got a boyfriend now, a new job, hopefully another new job in the future, college maybe in the future. She's got her own apartment now with 2 other friends. It's the most unrealistic thing in the show. She's fresh out of college and going to have an apartment, but it's not an apartment of her own, so I guess it doesn't completely destroy my disbelief. I can believe the Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos charge. I can believe a whole lot of things. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like the freaking Lilo and Stitch live action movie. Just like, look, I can believe in space aliens from another world, other worlds and all that stuff. I can believe all that crap. You want me to get health insurance at a full-time job in less than a week? You're out of your freaking mind, movie. You clearly live in your own world. No, that doesn't happen. No, that movie sucked. Anyway. But Jace Vice Principal did not suck. It was a good show that I am happy I checked out. And you can check out the full playlist of it on Jace's channel. I guess you could also see my reactions if you want to, but I honestly recommend Jace's first. Check out the original source before you go into that sort of thing. I mean, it's not if you want to check out Jace first and then come see me, no problem. We have no problems there. But please go check out Jace first. You put a lot of time and effort into it, and he updated the playlist recently so that it's fully up to date. You have the entire story, beginning to end, right there. And yeah, overall, JH Vice Principal is an A+ show. I'm glad I checked it out. Is it perfect? No. But is anything really perfect? Not really. There's always going to be some flaws in some things. And there's always more stones that can be that are left unturned. But hey, that's what Jace, Jessica, and Friends is for. So maybe they can pick up those stones in the future. Can only hope. But if JH Vice Principal taught me a few things, it is simple. It's that the Christian God is the real one. Always look forward to your future and don't dwell on the past. And Mimi's a bitch. Those are the 3 morals of my story. And now let's all ride on the Magic School Bus. Not a single Arnold in this show or a Carlos. I am disappointed. You know what? Actually, I changed my vote. F-, 0 out of 10. Jokes. These are jokes. Not a Miss Frizzle. -0 out of 10. How do you have a -0? You found a way. -Z. I don't know. maybe that would have been too on the head. Still, it's kind of nice though, just a little symbolism, extra thing. First time we see Phoebe, she's got a certain outfit on, and that's also the outfit she wears to her last day of school. It's a nice little thing there. I'm surprised it still fits, but I mean, people could grow up with her, I guess. I don't know, whatever. New outfit that looks the same. When you find a look that works, wear it. But yeah, that's the end of Jace Fights Principal. It was truly a fun time to check it out, and I'm glad I checked it out when I did. So thank you for the recommendation for Jace back in the day. This series is 2 years old now. Have fun sleeping with that one. But overall, yeah, great show that I'm glad I checked it out. So this is about like what, 40 minutes I want to say, give or take. So I guess we should just end it here and let you get on with your day. I don't know if I got to another 20 minutes in me. I think I've covered just about everything. Oh yeah, one more thing. I do want to point out in the freaking finale, season 1. At some point in season 1, Mimi says, and the lie detector determined that was a lie. And then the season finale, it just gets said 3 times, once by Mimi and twice by Phoebe. It's like, Jace, were you in like a zone or something like that? Were you binge watching a series? Like, where did that come from? Or you just really like that line? I mean, it's not a problem. It's kind of weird, just like, hey, and the lie detector determined that was a lie. And the lie detector determined that was a lie. It's like, coincidence? Maybe. But it's just funny how that happened. Hey. Anywho, it is a figure of speech, but it's still kind of weird. There are other things that are just proof that Jace had long-term planning, but it's just, you have to binge the series for yourself to check out. And luckily the series is all under 10 minutes. They're about 15 minutes and under. There are some like 20 minutes in there, especially the finale. But overall, it's not a long series, not at all. You can binge through the entire series in like half a day, maybe a full day if you need like a snack break or something like that. So yeah, I would recommend that everyone check this series out in your own time. But I think I'm kind of going around again, so why don't we just wrap this up? So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go check out Jace Vice Principal in your own time, or check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Charts or Jace Jessica and Friends, also on his channel. Link to his channel in the description. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next time. Later.